Hello everyone, I'm Deepika Singh, Assistant Professor Zoology from MSG Government College, D. Bharatpur, Rajasthan. Today I am going to discuss DNA structure. As you all know, nucleic acids were first discovered by Friedrich Miescher from the nuclei of pus cells and therefore named as nuclei. Thereafter, they were named as nucleic acids due to their acidic nature. There are two types of nucleic acids. One is DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. Other one is the RNA, ribonucleic acid. DNA is the genetic material of all organisms, all living beings except riboviruses. So today we are going to discuss the basic fundamental unit of nucleic acids. If we see the structure of DNA, the basic fundamental unit or the monomeric units which make up a nucleic acid, either DNA or RNA, they are named as nucleotides. Deoxyribonucleotides in the case of DNA, while ribonucleotides in the case of RNA. So nucleic acids are therefore polynucleotides. If we see the structure of a single nucleotide, the nucleotides are made up of three components. One is a base which has a nitrogen atom known as the nitrogenous base. This base can be of two types, purines or pyrimidines. Adenine and guanine are the purine bases, while thymine, cytosine and uracil are the pyrimidine bases. The second component of a nucleotide is a 5-carbon sugar, which is different in both. In DNA, it's known as the deoxyribose sugar, while in RNA, it is the ribose sugar. So, in DNA, the 2-deoxyribose sugar has only H group, that is, oxygen atom is missing from the second carbon, while in ribose, the group is hydroxyl group, OH group. The third component of nucleotide is anion of phosphoric acid. So we can say that nucleotides are phosphate esters of nucleosides. Nucleosides are made up of base plus sugar, and then if we add the phosphoric acid ion, it becomes the nucleotide. So this is how these three are linked to each other. The nitrogenous base, this is a nitrogenous base. It is a purine as it has a double ring, while pyrimidines are nitrogenous bases with a single ring. So adenine or guanine are the purine bases. Adenine has an amino group on the carbon 6 position of the ring, while guanine has an amino group at the carbon 2 position and a carbonyl group at the carbon 6 position. So these nitrogenous bases are actually linked to the sugar to form nucleoside, and the bond between the sugar and the base is known as the glycosidic bond. This bond is said to be in the beta configuration with respect to the ribose sugar, that is in the up configuration. So the base is free to rotate around this glycosidic bond. This is the phosphate ion which is linked to the 5' carbon of the sugar, which could be either ribose in case of RNA or deoxyribose in case of DNA. Next we see the linking of two nucleotides with the phosphodiester bonds. So this is the phosphodiester bond which links the 3-hydroxyl group of a sugar of a nucleotide to the phosphoric group which is linked to the 5' carbon sugar of the next nucleotide. So this bond is known as the phosphodiester bond. So it is between the alcohol of a 5' phosphate of one nucleotide and 3-hydroxyl of a second nucleotide with the elimination of water, and forms a phosphodiester bond. So this bond actually shows a directionality in that it has a free hydroxyl group at the 3' end, while a phosphate group at the 5' end. This is known as the 5' to 3' direction. Now this is the structure of a double-stranded DNA, which was described first by Watson and Crick in 1953 using the X-ray diffraction data of DNA fibers obtained by Franklin and Wilkins. Watson, Crick and Wilkins were awarded the 1962 Nobel Prize for Medicine for discovering this molecular structure of DNA. So Watson-Crick double helix model actually describes the features of the B form of DNA, which is the most common form and is actually found in a right-handed helical configuration. There are other many forms of DNA also distinct from this B form. The conformation that a DNA would adopt in a solution would depend on the hydration level, the DNA sequence, chemical modification of the bases, the presence of metal ions in the solution. There are other forms of DNA also, such as A form, Z form. This is the B-DNA or B form of DNA. So you can see that DNA actually consists of two long polynucleotide strands which are coiled around the central axis, and these strands are actually wrapped in a right-handed configuration, and these are anti-parallel. That means if one strand runs from the direction 5' to 3', the other strand's direction is the opposite, 3' to 5'. These strands interact with one another with the help of hydrogen bonds. These hydrogen bonds are formed between base complementary base pairs. That means if on one strand there is a purine, then on the other strand the pyrimidine base would form base pair would pair with the base with the help of hydrogen bond. So between guanine and cytosine there are 3 hydrogen bonds, while adenine and thymine pair with the help of 2 hydrogen bonds. So there are also 2 grooves visible here. One is the minor groove and the other one is the major groove. The diameter of this helix is 2 nm or 20 angstrom. 0.34 nm or 0.3234 nm is the distance between 2 base pairs, and the one helical coil which consists of 10 such base pairs is 3.4 nm long. There are 10.4 base pairs per helical turn in case of B-DNA. So this is the structure of B-DNA, which is the common form of DNA found in biological world. Here you can see the hydrogen bonds. There are 3 hydrogen bonds between cytosine and guanine and 2 between adenine and thymine. This is the sugar phosphate backbone. You can see a free phosphate group at 5' and a free hydroxyl group at 3' end. These are the phosphodiester bonds between the nucleotides. This is the other strand which runs in the opposite direction. It has 5' end here and 3' end here. Therefore the strands are known as anti-parallel. This is it. Thank you everyone.